So we're back with the Faith and Finance Report. You know, every aspect of this show is trying to help business people live out their faith in all aspects of their life, unsiloing their life. And I can't think of a better example of that today. I can't think of a better person to aspire to than Tim Busch. Tim, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
It's really a blessing to have you here. Tim, as I was preparing, I was thinking to myself, who is Tim Busch? And I think, well, if I were to write the book of Tim Busch, which no one has asked me to do, but I think you've had enormous success in the hospitality business, no question, in the grocery business. I know you've had participation in professional sports teams. It's really an amazing career, but I don't think that would be in the first two paragraphs, the first two chapters. I think it would be about a man who has lived his faith and integrated his family and his faith and his business so beautifully. So thank you for your witness. Thank you for your example. And thank you for all you're doing for the church.
Thank you, Chris. You do the same.
Tim, tell me can you give us a little background on how this started, how you became this? You know, I talk about the Mount Rushmore of Catholic leaders. Tom Monahan was here a few minutes ago, and we're both, I think, blessed to have been on the Legatus board and you've served on so many different boards. But how does a guy aspirationally, and I put you on that Mount Rushmore to be clear, how does someone who's aspirational as a business person, as a person of faith, how can they aspire to get a step closer to having that carving up there someday?
Well, you know, in our church, we have the saints, but it's hard sometimes to relate to them. And I think St. John Paul II did a wonderful job of canonizing more saints than in the history of the church, 2,000 years, to get us people of the same culture so we could kind of sort of relate to them because they were part of us. They weren't somebody from a distant area that we'd never been to. And I take it another step further. I think we have to first look at people around us and use them as mentors. And that doesn't mean we're going to talk to them every day. Doesn't even mean we're going to know them.
Yes.
But we're going to know who they are and what they are. And I think that's where Tom Monahan comes in, as you say, the Mount Rushmore. He is going to go down in history as one of the original people that advanced the new lay apostolate movement. Now, we've had lay apostolates for hundreds of years, Knights of Columbus, Knights of Malta, and so on. But this is a different way of doing things, which is unique to America. And so getting back to how did this come about? I didn't have any epiphany. I was just walking down the path, the pilgrimage that God laid in front of us. And I tried to make the decisions as I went, but I had no idea where it was going to end up. I still don't.
Still journeying.
But when I was 35 years old, about 35 years ago, I saw and met Tom Monahan and got wildly engaged in Legatus. I founded 12 chapters over a period of years. Spent a lot of my time and money to do so. And it was mostly in California, did one in Las Vegas. And but during that time period, I got to watch Tom. Now, two different people you would not find. We're not, personality-wise, we're not at all alike, other than we're committed to the faith in different ways. And he's 18 years older than me.
Sure.
But I look at him as an example of a guy that goes to Mass every day. Check.
Yes.
So did I. After I watched it, I've been to Mass every day when I was a child, but reactivating that during my adult life.
Yes.
Praying the rosary daily, going to confession regularly. What really inspired me was having a chapel in his office. And we have had a chapel in my office for more than 20 years.
Wow.
Literally today, we finished the third renovation, which is going to blow every chapel away in Orange County. But we now have 8 chapels, 4 in our hotels where we allow priests to stay for free if they celebrate Mass.
Say that again. In your hotel,
we're talking about hotels,
aligning faith and financial life.
We have chapels approved by the bishop that allow Mass to be celebrated. And last year we had 300 priests go through our program, and we celebrated probably over 1,000 Masses because sometimes it's multiple days. And we have hotels in Kauai, Austin, Texas, Napa, California, and soon to be Phoenix, Arizona in September. We'll have a chapel there.
Congratulations.
I got that idea from Tom Monahan.
Wow.
And I also saw him getting involved in Catholic education. So I started a Catholic school in Orange County called St. Anne's, Laguna Niguel, and then later did a high school in San Juan. That all came by seeing somebody like Tom Monahan, who was bigger than life, Domino's Pizza, billionaire.
World Series, all that stuff.
Buying
right?
a baseball team, wins the World Series this year. That was providential. And you say, hey, look, he can do it. He's from my hometown, by the way.
No kidding.
We were born and raised.
How could two Catholic icons come from that close to each other? It's amazing.
Yeah, we were Ann Arborites, but he was raised in Jackson, and I was raised in a town called Clinton. But they're like 15 minutes apart, 20 minutes apart.
Okay.
And then, of course, we both ended up in Ann Arbor because that's really the thriving town.
Sure.
And I just saw him as one person. There's other people that I have latched on. Some of them not even Catholic, but I see how they run their business, how successful they've been. They're Catholic, they just don't know it. You know, they follow the principles and values of Catholicism. So I think I tell people that are listening, whether you're young or older than me, pray.
Yes.
God will lead you there. And don't try to do it on your own. Surrender your problems, your ideas, your aspirations to the Lord, and tell him to reorganize them and put them in good order, and he'll do that for you. But if you don't believe it, he's not going to do it.
It's really, as I said, when we build that Mount Rushmore, we're putting you on there, and I can't personally thank you enough. And as I said, the only reason Catholics Ashore exists is because we saw the success of the Napa Institute and so many things. So I just pray God continues to bless you and all your work and your family. And just thank you so much for everything you've been doing.
Thank you
for being here today.
And I'm glad to mimic, because mimicking is ultimate compliment, and I'm mimicking Legatus in a different interpretation. So,
amen. God bless you. Thank you, sir.